Hey, Drew. Um, First off, just how you doing? How you feeling? What do you think about not having to miss a game, a start because New England got pushed back? And then secondly, I want to just ask you about Phillip Lindsay, if you kind of see him chomping at the bit as well to get back into the lineup.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited to be back. It feels good to just be doing what I love and doing what I feel like I was, put down here to do. It's great to be back with the guys, calling plays in the huddle, feeling camaraderie of the team. It gets pretty lonely back there when you're with the headset and just kind of walking through things in your head. But it's what I had to do when I was hurt, and Brett did a fantastic job when he came in there, and he did what he needed to do. He got us a win, which is awesome. As far as Phillip goes, I know he's excited to try to get back and get going. He's been looking really good in practice, and I'm just excited to see him back out there. Hopefully he hits it with full speed ahead.
Next one, Nick Kosmeyer.
Drew, Brett had some success with 4 different deep balls in the win over the Jets, and I'm just curious, as you got to kind of take a step back and look at some of that, how do you view the opportunities within this offense to kind of find some of those big hits yourself when you do get back into the action?
Yeah, we knew that the guys that we drafted and the guys that we already had here previously, we were going to be able to push the ball downfield. It's all about just making the best of those opportunities. And when Brett was in there, he made the best of them. Jerry helped on one, and then all the other ones, Brett put it right where he needed to be. But the best thing that Brett did is he gave him a shot. He put it within the reach of, them being able to make a play, which is, what I struggled a little bit with in that first game. And, being able to watch Brett and technique-wise in practice and everything he did in that game, it was fun for me to sit back and watch him go out there and work. And I definitely took a little bit from this game and going to try to bring it into mine coming into Sunday.
Thanks. Next one, Ryan O'Halloran.
Hey, Drew, you're 24 days post-injury in full practice today. Does the timetable match up from what the docs told you right after the Pittsburgh game?
Yeah, it did. When the game got pushed back to Monday night, there was another thought about it. I got asked a couple more times, and then when it officially got pulled and placed a week later, and that was technically considered our bye week, and it was kind of it reached that exact point where we thought I could be able to be back in full go and start slinging the ball around the yard again. And I'm upset that obviously our game got canceled and we had a little arrangement in schedule, lost our bye week later in the year. But I'm also excited that that means I've missed less games than I was supposed to, and that makes me happy to have those games under my belt throughout this season.
Next one, Mike Kliss.
Yeah, Drew, just your reaction upon hearing the news about Melvin Gordon, and do you think you'll have him Sunday?
Yeah, I was, of course, upset, but we're also here for him. It's like having a brother that gets in trouble. You're not going to bash him for what he did. You're going to go pick him up and, maybe take him to get some ice cream or something. We'll see. I'm hoping that he can play on Sunday, and but obviously that's not up to me. It's up to above my pay grade, so to say. But I do feel upset for him. We're there for him with whatever he needs, but not up to me if he gets to play.
Next one, Michael Spencer.
Hey, Drew, 2-part question. Vic Fangio said it's not necessarily for sure that you might start on Sunday, that he still wants to see how you practice. So in your mind, what do you want to go out and show them? And then you mentioned listening on the headset while you were out. What else did you do? Did you do any of the virtual reality stuff? I know that was a big part of your rehab last year.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is, being able to come out and practice and play clean football. Watching Brett practice all last week, it was extremely clean. He knew what he was doing with the ball. He knew his run game checks. He knew everything. It was clean. There was no questions about it. So if I didn't come out here today and tomorrow and the next day and show that I can do that and be extremely clean just like Brett was in practice, then then it's going to be really up in their hands as to what they want to do. I didn't want to come down and let the intensity lag from last week's practice. I wanted to raise it a little bit and just keep things rolling. And I think if we have crisp, clean practices, deliver the ball where it needs to be and on time, then hopefully I show them what they need to see.
Next one, Brandon Cristal.
Drew, did the injury last year help you kind of go through the rehab process this week, knowing there's a light at the end of or this year, knowing there's light at the end of the tunnel? Or because last year you weren't the starter at the time, versus now being the starter? Was it different, or could you draw on those experiences?
I could definitely grow on it regardless, whether it being the starter. Unlike like last year, where I wasn't the starter, got injured and got to grow, and even being the starter this year. I feel like one thing I learned from this is I got to be able to self-scout better coming out of weeks, being able to be hurt and watch myself, watch guys other than myself. I got to learn a lot about what I could possibly do better. So that's something that I took from this injury, being able to get better going forward, is just watching myself a little bit closer, whether that's technique or little subtle, habits that I have, just being able to critique myself a little bit after games better, and now going to games with a certain mindset that maybe I didn't have in the first week, as far as how this offense goes and how we're going to roll and how I need to play as a quarterback.
Next one, Troy Rank. Time for a few more after Troy, guys.
Drew, good to see you, man. When you look back, you talk about self-scouting. Is part of that when you've now had some time to digest it, learning how to get sacked and making sure you protect yourself? And are you looking forward in a weird way to that first hit and kind of see how it feels?
Yeah, no, I am ready for the first hit, just to get it out of there, just to let it happen, let everyone hold their breath for a couple seconds, and then I get up and everything's just fine. Knock on wood. But no, I'm excited to get back out there, and yes, there's an art to it, and I got to learn that art. I watched a lot of football when I was hurt, watched a lot of older guys and how they don't take sacks. Whether they know they're going to get sacked, but they know where their outlet is to get rid of the ball, whether that's an automatic incompletion because you're throwing at the back's feet, or you're just sailing out of bounds over a guy's head. Obviously make it look realistic enough, but it's definitely a part of my game that I can get better at. And I worked towards getting better at that while I was hurt. I couldn't do much about it besides footwork stuff and watching technique, but starting this practice and moving forward, I'm still working on it.
Final three, Eric, Zach, and Ryan. Go ahead, Eric.
Drew, maybe a little similar to Brandon's question, but was it more frustrating this year to be sidelined compared to last year, since you're the starter now? And can you explain a little bit what it was like to have to watch in the end of week 2 and then especially the loss in week 3?
Yeah, it was way harder than it was last year. As much as we want to say, we prep during the week as guys that aren't playing, you hate to put a backup quarterback in a bad spot like that. You take all the reps, all the training camp, take all the reps throughout the week, whether that's Jeff or it was Brett. They had minimal reps compared to what I had. And, I put them both in weird spots. They had to come back and learn game plans and sometimes run plays that they hadn't ran all the training camp because I was the one taking the reps. So that hurt me, obviously. And then even for the rest of the team, at the same time, we built chemistry throughout training camp. And I felt like I took that away from us from, making the dumb decision and not just taking the sack. But again, like I said, that's kind of what I am. I try to make plays. There's just got to be better times for me to make plays, and there's got to be better times for me to just realize the games or the play's over and not get hurt.
Go ahead, Zach Stevens.
Hey, Drew, how's the shoulder doing, and where are you in the recovery process right now? Is it sore and hurt after you throw a day? How's it feeling?
It feels really good, actually. We are still kind of going forward. Like today was, the most volume, so to say, that I've had. We progressively got it higher and higher and higher to get to the point of today to where I wouldn't be sore. So I'm going to do a little treatment after this and see how it feels tomorrow.
Final one, Ryan.
Hey, Drew, just follow up on an earlier question about taking a sack and taking a hit. Your style of play is your style of play. Over the last couple of weeks, have you looked at it and say, I got to pick some, I have to give up some battles?
Yeah, I can definitely give or take some of those, but that's kind of who I am. Like I said, it's how I play, but you watch some of the greatest to ever do it. They have those moments in their game too. It's just not what they automatically go to, which, I feel like that was kind of my thing. I automatically went to it. I automatically wanted to get out and run rather than stepping up and working in the pocket and delivering a ball maybe for 4 or 6 yards instead of rolling out of the pocket and trying to throw a deep bomb and make something crazy happen. To where I feel like I can put that more into my game. I can work on stepping up. I can work on taking, the shorter throw, but it's there. It's open. Take it. Why not take what they give you? And I feel like if I can just slowly but surely progress into that, I think I can be a really good quarterback in this league.